I'm back. Imagine that. I told you I'll be back right away. I am Willy Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willy Bragg Show. As I would do a third video, but I'm got to go to work in a little while, so I'm going to make this quick with this second video, my final video for today. Yes. Tucker Carlson. We know who Tucker Carlson is. He basically needs no introduction. Tucker Carlson, on the morning of I guess it was the morning of April 23rd this year, last week, I guess it was. Yeah, it was last week. I was on suspension from YouTube last week, so there you have it. What happened was he got terminated from Fox News. And that became a very big controversy because with his termination on Fox News, what made it kind of unusual or strange was the fact that he was it was one of the highest rating shows on Fox, and people watch the show from across the political spectrum. And so his getting canned struck me as odd. Now, the explanation, there was a lot of explanations for it, but I think that I have my reasons why I think he was canned from Fox News. Tucker Carlson, essentially, they said it was because him spouting the conspiracy theory, of the 2020 election, the Dominion lawsuits that sue against Fox News and all of that, and for that reason, he was terminated from Fox News. But the reason that doesn't really add up is that pretty much everybody from Fox News, most people from Fox News pretty much fed that line. Not just Tucker Carlson. I mean, everyone from Sean Hannity to all these Judge Pirro, whatever the heck her name is, all these folks, they were all shouting the same thing to appease their audience. And every last one of them knew that he was not. I mean, that the election, for all it's worth, there was, that this election denialism was just a conspiracy theory by a bunch of crazy, just by a bunch of, in my view, a bunch of crazy right wingers who were basically sore losers, and they're basically being just the 2020 version of the shit libs from 2016 who engaged in their own conspiracy theories about Vladimir Putin putting Donald Trump into the White House, which I always thought that was a dumb conspiracy theory too. So that's what it came down to. So it didn't set well with me. I don't believe that was the reason they got rid of Tucker Carlson. Now, I don't want it to sound like I'm coming to the defense of Tucker Carlson. I have some issues with Tucker Carlson on a political level. There are things about Tucker Carlson that I don't like that he says. I mean, his words about great replacement theory doesn't set well with me. Some of his views, although he was one of the early supporters of gay marriage, I give him that. He's really obsessed on the culture war issue of transgenderism, and that doesn't set well with me either. So I'm and he dog whistles a lot of racist themes. But does that make Tucker Carlson any different from another Fox News host or another right-wing talking head across the political spectrum that may or may not be racist, but want the ratings and want the audience and gives them the red meat? So that's how I look at it. So I don't necessarily lose sleep over Tucker Carlson the way a lot of shit lives and actual sincere lefties tend to. Now, so I want to make that clear that as far as Tucker Carlson's politics overall, I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But a stop clock gets the right time twice a day, in the sense that Tucker Carlson has an okay foreign policy of non-interventionism. And I say okay because it's not perfect. He is correct that we should not be we should not be rattle sabling with Russia and trying to start a war with Russia over to Ukraine. He is 100% correct on that. He ruins it when he wants to focus on starting a war with China. And doesn't he realize that if you fuck with China, you're also fucking with Russia? So I don't get it when it comes to the shit libs and the right wing in this country when it comes to foreign policy, because the shit libs want to start World War III over Russia, Ukraine, and they don't realize that fucking with Russia is going to fuck with China. And the right wing people who don't want to go and fuck with Russia doesn't realize fucking with Russia is also going to trigger a reaction out of China. Why do you want to go out of your way to make the world unstable by trying to pick a fight with two nuclear weapons power kind of equal to the United States? Why would you want to do that? So, I mean, and in that regard, although he's correct on Ukraine, Russia, he's wrong on China. And you don't have to necessarily endorse Russia or China, but I don't endorse being roasted in a nuclear war either. It's nothing. That's what it comes down to. So with Tucker Carlson, as I said, he's a mixed bag. His economic populism, that's another area where I don't necessarily believe it, but he does try to address the problems of capitalism, but he's not an anti-capitalist, folks. And the problem with paleo conservatives, even though they realize there is a crony capitalist problem, they still rely on crony capitalism. That's what it is at the end of the day. They're still entrenched in this Reaganomics thing, and they think they can go and find some populist way to humble it. And the only way you're going to humble it is with populist left economics. Not with more Reaganomics and making it Reaganomics sound folksy with public relations. So that's my problem with this populism thing that Tucker Carlson would advocate in regard to this populism. Now, if he can get it behind the idea of supporting a labor union, and at the very least, at the very minimum, support a public option on for healthcare. I mean, I would rather see him support a national health service, but if he can get behind that, I can believe it. But you know what? That's Tucker Carlson. Difference between him and Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity he comes as advertised. Nothing that Mitch McConnell would do in Washington, D.C. is wrong in Sean Hannity's eyes. And I do think that within reason, I think Tucker Carlson thinks that maybe most things or a lot of things that Mitch McConnell type would do is flawed. So in that regard, he sort of gets it and all that. He's for Julian Assange, and I'll give him that. He is for Julian Assange. So I'm okay. I'm okay on that issue. And I think that might not have set well with some folks at Fox. So there is that. But there is more to it. I think that I would say with his show, his saving grace on his show would be this. And you don't have to be a fan. You don't have to sit there and just because you say something positive about somebody doesn't mean that all of a sudden you are a fan of his work. But you know what? I'm grateful that he would be willing to have Jimmy Dore on the show. Now, some people on the left get upset. Oh my God, Jimmy Dore's right wing. He goes on Tucker Carlson. Well, no, Miki Constant gone on Tucker Carlson. She's more right wing than Jimmy Dore, even though she calls Jimmy Dore right wing. Shank Uger and Anna Kasparian are very buddy these days with Ben Shapiro lately. And, they're to the right of Jimmy Dore. and they keep calling Jimmy Dore right wing. So, there was fall hollow on my ears when they go to engage in that sort of thing. Jimmy Dore doesn't go on Tucker Carlson and say, "Hey, I agree with you about tax cuts for the wealthy, and we should go and basically, attack labor unions, and we should go and adopt Reaganomics." He's not saying this at all. When Tucker Carlson has someone like Jimmy Dore on the show, it's over issues were as a leftist, Jimmy Dore is as a leftist, where those on the right are agreeing. So I am grateful that he's able to have Jimmy Dore on his show. So there is that. Also, I'm grateful for the fact that he's also has Glenn Greenwald on the show. Now, Glenn Greenwald gets a lot of shit for going on Tucker Carlson too, just like Jimmy Dore. Well, he's been shunned by the liberal elite in this country. Where the hell was he going to do? Just sit there and be like, do nothing and just wither away? Again, just like Jimmy Dore, he's not going there saying, "Hey, I agree with you on all this right-wing shit that you talk about usually on the show." He's agreeing with Tucker Carlson on issues that the left are in basic agreement with. Or at least where the left should be, where the left has parted ways from. And for some reason, certain themes that Jimmy Dore or Glenn Greenwald are embracing, which are real issues of the left, are now perceived as right wing, because the Overton window has shifted so far to the right in this country that a bunch of mealy-mouthed shit-libs are now embracing not just soft Reaganomics, they're buddy-buddy with people like George W. Bush, while they still hate Ralph Nader. You think about that for a moment. Let that sink into your heads for a moment, folks. So I want you to do that. So also, she's controversial. I know she is controversial, but I'll put her up here anyway, and that is Tulsi Gabbard. Now, depending on the day of the week, is she left? Is she now right wing? Is she left wing? We don't know. I don't think she knows half the time. But the point is, the one area where she's been almost always correct, no matter which direction she goes politically, is on foreign policy. I can't take that away from her. I wanted her to be Bernie Sanders' running mate in 2020, but Hillary Clinton basically convinced the party and even convinced some people on the left to go after Tulsi Gabbard, and she went where the love and affection was at, and say they saw an attractive veteran. And they were like, okay, well, it's okay, Tulsi. We like you anyway. And so she got the love and affection of those in the conservative movement. And, she sort of kind of gotten along kind of chummy with them. She still has some independent thoughts, though. But I think that if she was going to grift, I think she should have grifted left for her to go on into the Green Party, or just gone, I think she should have just gone into just outside of the two-party system and been go into actual Abby Martin territory, which I think she would have done very well, and I think she would have done very well for herself and all that. She does question the military-industrial complex. She does question what we do abroad, and she does give a fair voice for Julian Assange, more than even Bernie Sanders did years ago. So, and she went from being a grown-up AOC to being, I don't know what she is now politically. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. So with Tucker Carlson, again, he is a mixed bag. You don't have to like him. I have a lot of negative things to say about Tucker Carlson. I want to make that clear. But I look at what I see on Fox News. There's a whole lot worse than Tucker Carlson. A whole lot worse out there. He just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is bad, but if he's bad, then Ron DeSantis is really, 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 really bad. And Nikki Haley is really, 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 really bad. And Mike Pompeo and John Bolton, who are thinking about running for president, are both really, 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 really dark side of evil, bad. So you got kind of disagreeable to just like the dark side of evil, what have you. So you got to kind of look at it that way. So anyway, I have a chat line here. I'm going to read it and I'm going to sign off because I got to go to work. So Miguel, hey, how are you doing again, my friend? We're back. Let's see. Shout out to Tucker Carlson within reason. Yankee Tanky, my friend, how are you? He has allowed anti-war voices on the show that spoke out on the show on the war in China. Jimmy Dore, for example. Agreed. Let's see. America screws. Seems like that all politicians are corrupt. I think about that on a daily basis, almost on an hourly basis, perpetually. Let's see here. Reaganomics, Knights of Malta economics, which is a Jesuit order, fascism at the end of the day. Yeah, well, I do think there's some fascism at work. I don't know about the Jesuits thing, but I do think that there is some kind of a fascism kind of percolating right now in America and the world at large. He's also had Aaron Mattei and Glenn Greenwald. Also, let's not forget the defense of the Hoover movement. And that is correct. Thank you, Yankee Tanky. I forgot about that. I was going to mention that. Thank you. He did. That is why they fired him. That was what I was here to tell you. That's why I think they fired him. He defended Omala Yeshitela from the African People's Socialist Party. And I think that was a no-no right there. That was a no-no. I don't know why I was so in a hurry to get to work. I forgot to mention that. Yet that is so correct. He went after this guy. That is correct. Omali Yeshitela from the African People's Socialist Party, basically. Oh no, Russia! Again, some city council race in St. Petersburg, Florida. Are you kidding me? The U.S. Department of Injustice. So we got to worry about these things, folks. The Red Scare, the McCarthyism is back. But it's the shit libs doing it this time instead of a bunch of stodgy old right wingers from the 1950s. The people who supported the Robert Taft's out there. I don't think Robert Taft was that far gone, but the people who had that ideology, I guess, who were to the right of Robert Taft, Joe McCarthy types, But anyway, a relatively base, but she's bigger than herself independently because Tulsi Gabbard, as well as Colonel Douglas McGregor, represents a split in the military-industrial complex. Well, that's true. That is true. The military-industrial complex is split right now. That split is opening toward political power for hegemonic movement in the U.S. Well, something needs to give because it's out of control, Let's see. Beware of liking Russia while being black in Florida. Isn't that the truth? And that's basically what happened to Omali Yeshitela. So anyway, if you all like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment if you disagree anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content of this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell. Do that. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. And until next time, always reject corporate media and reject the two-party system. And let's build a workers' movement, an anti-war movement, an anti-racist movement, and let us all be together as one to go ahead and work for justice. So until next time, I'm Willy Bragg, and I am out of here. I will be streaming more than likely sometime tomorrow. Bye-bye.